So here we are once again taking a look at Indiegogo and the Comicsgate books that are available to us right now. We're looking at 14 days left at the time of this recording on Clint Stoker's FATL. Yeah, I know, the FATL. He explained it in a live stream. It's fine. Don't worry your pretty head over it. Anyways, Clint Stoker actually has one hell of a great looking book here. So a desperate financial situation leads our main character Flynn, an alien exterminator, to follow a distress call from a posh planet full of sycophants. When Flynn learns that the people's minds have also been invaded, Flynn is stranded and running out of options. He must choose to save the survivors or escape. So we got 52 pages, and this guy is not someone who worked professionally in the comic book industry. This guy worked in advertising. No, seriously. He worked in advertising. He did storyboards for like commercials and campaigns for magazines and things like that. And he had to draw the most boring crap you could imagine. No posh, no style, no finesse. He had to draw what was required to sell to normies. And all he wanted to do was create artwork that looks like this. Look at this. This is beautiful. And I'm not just talking about the colors. And by the way, the artist did the colors in the pages of this book as well. He didn't just draw it and ink it. He actually did the colors. I couldn't believe it. But this is the kind of artwork that, frankly, is why I support Comicsgate. Look how beautiful this is. Look at the energy in every single panel. Look at the character designs. This picture right here, I will freely admit, that picture and the pose, that is what convinced me to buy this book. When I looked at the first, the cover looks great, but a cover doesn't mean everything. The first page, it looked promising, but the first page doesn't mean everything. This pose, that pose, I gotta say, when I saw it, now I was interested. But the moment I saw this scene and that character and that pose, I was hooked. This was a book I wanted. And I can proudly say that I am one of the backers of FATL. And you should be a backer of FATL too, because this looks like it's going to be an absolutely amazing book. This is that old-fashioned Buck Rogers sci-fi adventure kind of story that we just frankly don't see anymore. And I love science fiction. Science fiction is my favorite genre. So anytime I have a chance to support something that is sci-fi that looks this good, you can be sure I'm going to be giving it my money. Now, obviously, we once again do not have a Hail Comicsgate in the summary. At no point in this dialogue that you see on these pages, not on the pages, but in the text of the writer, oh, this is a new page. I hadn't seen this before because it's been a week or two since I came here. Look at that artwork. Look at his face. Oh man, that is so cool. Oh yeah, like I said, I am totally backing this. But, once again, I didn't back it immediately. I had to go find out that FATL was actually Comicsgate from a live stream with another artist. And again, if I hadn't known that, and given this guy has no record, no reputation, and not much that I was able to find initially on his Twitter feed. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if he's a shill for the mainstream. So I had to spend a couple of days before I ended up backing the book. It was a good 48 hours before I actually bought my issue of FATL. But I can promise you, Clint Stoker's Comicsgate. And he's been on multiple Comicsgate channels, plugging his book, talking about his journey from working in advertising to actually making a full-blown comic. I can't remember if it's Clint who is the artist or the writer, because I've seen them both online now. And I'm sure that I can go find that somewhere in here. But I don't care. So I'm not going to. But you should care about actually getting a copy of this book. They even have a version of it that is black and white. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Charlie Snogans. He's the artist. He's the actual artist. And Clint Stoker, he's the writer. And they really did this kind of the old-fashioned Marvel way, because originally Snogans, or Snogans? I can't remember how it's pronounced. Charlie, we're just going to call him Chuck. So originally Chuck, he as the artist, he had all these like panels that he was doing, but he had no story to go behind it. And so he showed it to the writer, and the writer said, okay, let's break this down the way that Stan Lee and Buscema would have done it back in the day. And they put together a collaborative effort to tell a wonderful story with absolutely amazing artwork. So, yeah. This is definitely a book that you should be buying. This is a book that you're supporting. Yes, they are Comicsgate. And welcome to the Comicsgate community, guys. And push that button, guys. Go back this book. It's not going to be available forever. You don't have to necessarily get the $100 bundle, but you definitely, at bare minimum, want to get the $25. Because that book, the wraparound cover, looks awesome. So go buy this book, support FATL, hail Comicsgate, and I'm out.